Good afternoon, everyone. Nina and I are excited to share our research on the customer imperative in financial services. Consumer expectations have been evolving, and of course, as we've all seen, there's been a really significant shift to digital banking over the past 10 years that's really been led by customers. 20 years ago or so, it was all about convenience, being able to access a contact centre or a branch at a time that suited the customer. Then around a decade ago, there was a real focus on banks investing in seamless, simple, end-to-end digital experience. We're now seeing another shift, a shift to more proactive and personalised engagement fuelled by customers' data. And our research showed that around 80% of consumers felt confident in how banks were keeping their data safe and using their data. And there's an appetite now for banks to use that to do more. The chart that you see on the screen shows consumers' preferences for how they would like to engage with their bank on a range of different experiences, from sales, routine servicing, to more complex and emotive experiences. As you'll see in the orange boxes, there's now a really significant appetite for digital experiences, either online banking or through a mobile app. In fact, even for more emotive experiences like resolving a fraud alert, there's a pretty significant proportion of consumers who would prefer to do that digitally. The human touch, though, is still relevant, and for some experiences like getting a first home loan or refinancing a home loan, there is an appetite for human intervention, but this is often still fuelled by digital and data.
So we've recently worked with a large Australian bank to run a proof of concept on how their customer data can help them improve their operational efficiency and provide a better experience for their customers. The business was receiving a large volume of leads on a Friday afternoon for a high-value product, and due to its weekend staffing models, they often weren't being actioned until Monday or later that week. And consequently, the conversion rates weren't as strong as what they wanted them to be. So rather than just hire more people to meet the weekend demand, they had a hypothesis that by using some predictive models on the existing customer data that they held, they could prioritise genuine leads for customers for immediate action and deprioritise some of the other leads. So they ran a 90-day proof of concept, splitting the leads into an A/B testing scenario. The A stream went into the existing process and were assigned on a first-come, first-served basis. The B stream were ran through our CRM analytics intelligence model and was scored, with the high-scoring leads then passed directly to an agent for immediate follow-up. Based on initial results, they've seen an increase on 5% on conversion rates. The total investment of proving out this hypothesis was less than $50K. So we see this as a great example of how organisations can leverage their existing data to improve both the customer experience and business outcomes.
In our research, we asked consumers how they were engaging with their bank for a variety of different experiences, ranging from sales experiences to routine servicing to more emotive. And what we saw is that when customers started an experience through a digital channel, most of the time they were able to finish that experience in that same digital channel, rather than dropping out and having to visit a branch or call a contact centre. And this is a real shift versus what we saw even 5 years ago, where there were still many dropouts and customers were having to pick up the phone. Perhaps what was more exciting is the Net Promoter Scores that we saw for digital experiences. Even for more emotive experiences, digital experiences were outperforming those delivered by a frontline banker in person. So for example, 54 NPS for a digital emotive experience versus 36 for an assisted experience delivered by a banker. And this again is a really significant shift versus a few years ago. We also asked consumers to what extent they would like banks to use their data to personalise their offers, their pricing, their experiences. And we saw that consumers are really giving banks a permission to personalise. In fact, around 60% of consumers were interested in their data being used in this way. And as I mentioned earlier, they also have a really high level of trust in banks to keep their data safe and to use it in the right way.
So a great example of this is BBVA, a large European financial institution who embarked on a customer experience imperative 4 years ago and has implemented a highly sophisticated and personalised approach to customer engagement with the Salesforce platform. 5 years ago, the CEO led a transformation to put the customer at the centre of everything the bank did, internally across sales, service, back office functions, and every interaction the customer had with them. Today, BBVA have defined around 200 individual journeys, including customer onboarding, renewals, credit cards, and customer alerts in branch even, and they all leverage unique data and knowledge of the customer to deeply personalise the content and method of communication, tailoring that experience to suit the specific customer preferences and requirements. And it's an always-on engine, meaning that the personalised experiences get to the customer in the moments that matter to them. So they send up to 2.5 million emails, 2 million texts, and 1 million push messages every hour. And next I'd like to share with you the story of an award-winning Aussie startup who've been in the market for around 5 years and have really raised the bar with their digital customer experience and seamless transition from digital channels to human-assisted channels. As a lender, they've built complete end-to-end customer journeys from the ground up. Given the complexity of lending, people do sometimes get stuck in the process. And for this, they have digital signals that are sent to an agent, so an agent can proactively reach out to the customer and give them help in the exact moment where they need it. Consumers can also request live support in the same manner here. As a result, they have an incredibly high completion rate of submitted applications and even higher levels of consumer confidence and satisfaction, with their net promoter scores sitting in the high 60s. Their process is also analysed and refined every time, with every interaction being captured. If you'd like to know more, please click the QR code on your card at the table to download our report, and Katrina and I are also available on the break to have a chat. Thank you very much for your time.